Hello out there in the YouTubeverse, it is Max and I am back at you with another standard video. We are looking at the newest shake-up to standard because, you know, companions are too powerful. We all kind of saw that coming in Constructed. So they changed the rules and we are looking at the newest archetype for the new standard. And this particular archetype is an old archetype. It is Rakdos Oven. It looks a lot like the old style that we saw before. Nothing too crazy. This is very early in the format looking. Still Cauldron Familiar, still Gutter Bones, still Claim the Firstborn, still Witch's Oven, still Priest of the Forgotten Gods. We have Dreadhorde Butcher coming back in the deck, Midnight Reaper coming back in the deck. We have Woe Strider sticking around, and we have Call of the Death Dweller as our top end. So very much low on the curve as we've seen the whole time. Not a ton of lands here, 24 land to get us going. Fabled Passage action working with the Mayhem Devil. You all know this deck. In the board we have Redcap Melee, Agonizing Remorse, Noxious Grasp, Ember Shield Breaker, Rotting Regisaur, and Act of Treason. So I'm just going to do some best of ones. I'm not going to do anything too bonkers. We're just going to play some ranked. Nothing too nuts. Just best of one. Going to Rakdos Oven here. And see what we can do with it. This is kind of my first run at this deck with the new version, which again is very similar to the old versions that came out back then. But we'll see if we can pick up some W's with this new old style of Rakdos Sacrifice or Rakdos Oven. We'll see. No more cool companion synergies for us. This hand looks okay. We can Gutter Bones. Turn 2 we're not really doing much. I like the aggressive start with the Gutter Bones. We have a lot of draws that we can play onto and hope to maybe not draw another 3 or in particular another land. But I think it's close enough we can keep it, but it's a close one. We're playing against Quoth here. That's pretty funny. I like Name of the Wind. I get that reference. I'm going to start off aggressively with the Gutter Bones and hope that we draw a spell that we can cast. That's really kind of what we're at. Opponent on a Fabled Passage. Alright, it's a spell we cannot cast. So we'll go to combat. Opponent gonna fart around with priority because they have a Fabled Passage they're not cracking. Cast a Lochthwain here and then pass it back. Eventually, opponent will crack this Fabled Passage. Oh my gosh. I know tight play is important. And believe me, as somebody who streams and records Magic content, I've been playing Magic for a long time, it's always good to push yourself and to make sure you're making the most optimal lines and plays you can in a game. But, my goodness, taking that long to crack a Fabled Passage for a forest is painful. They're debating on a block here? I have not played Constructed in a minute, so it is worth noting I am in bronze here. So we're not going to be playing against the creme de la creme by any stretch of the imagination. But I haven't played in a minute, and I wanted to hop on and make a video for you. So we'll try to play as tightly as we can. We'll see how it goes. Right now I'm not too worried. Opponent missed their second land drop. They just have 2 mana so far. We'll see what they can cobble together here. Maybe a bit of a lame duck first game, but you never know. I don't know if I want to necessarily scry. I have a lot of things I can do, so I don't really think, okay, they're an oven deck of some sort. Let's see if we get the familiar down here. Put it really in the tank here with this goose. Not 100% sure what they're doing. It's like they've never seen any of these cards before. We're going to claim the Firstborn on our Woe Strider. Yeah, that's fine. I don't necessarily want to scry here. I think it would probably... I don't really care too much about preserving my life total. They can hit me and then sack the Woe Strider to the oven. That's not a huge deal to me. We need a decent draw to get our way back into this thing, but I'm not super concerned about that. Another uncastable spell is not where we want to be. We'll hit and we'll play Midnight Reaper. I think there's some value here. But opponent very aggressively trying to deal with our Woe Strider. I don't know if they're concerned about the 3 damage, but we'll see how it goes. We've got double goose here. Geese, if you will. Looking for a red source. Looking for not a swamp to be drawn. I mean, Gutterbones is fine. We're going to attack. We don't really get punished for this in any meaningful way. I doubt opponent blocks here because they're just so stretched on mana. We'll play another Gutterbones. It lets us activate Castle Lochthwain. End of turn. I'd rather do that end of turn than do it now with 1 mana up. There's not a whole lot more proactive 1 mana plays we can make than Gutterbones. There is, I mean, we could have held up to see if we got claim the Firstborn, but we're going to claim a goose and not do anything with it, so there's not really a whole lot there that can be done. Yeah, Priest of the Forgotten Gods is a little late to the party. It does not have haste yet. They could do the trick where they goose to give it haste, but they let us sacrifice 2 creatures. That's not like we get rid of a Gutterbones and a goat token. We get to draw cards off Midnight Reaper. Like, there's a lot of advantage for us, and they're tapping all of their available resources to do this, so that's not a problem here. Let's go ahead and activate our Fabled Passage, and we will get us a mountain. I would like to claim the Firstborn. Now I too get to do this. So they have an option. Okay, they did not elect to Oven, which is a little strange. So let's go to combat. We're going to really put in the hurt here. They lose their basically their whole board here. I imagine they block with Goose on Midnight Reaper, sack it to the Oven. They did not sack to the Oven. Okay. We're in deep bronze here. Let's get rid of a Gutterbones and a goat. Swamp was not an ideal draw. We have to play the Woe Strider here for sure. We have to sacrifice the Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Midnight Reaper's good, but not great. Let's play Gutterbones. Let's get back Gutterbones. And then recast Gutterbones. Okay. They've seen enough, which I don't blame them on 1 land and a Witch's Oven. That's basically game over. So a little bit of an anemic start for us, but more of an anemic start for the opponent, which is good or bad news depending on how you feel about that. And we'll give it another go, because that's what we do around these parts. Usually play 3 or 4 games just to kind of get a feel for the deck. And I've played this up. If you follow the videos here, I've played this Oven deck in various iterations for a little while now. So I'm not... This newest version is new. But, oh, this is quite an aggro start here. The card that's tripping us up right now is Fabled Passage. Fabled Passage is a real problem in this hand. If this were like 2 Blood Crypts or a Blood Crypt and a Swamp, this would be excellent. But I 100% want to play Gutterbones on 1, followed by Butcher on turn 2 if I can. Now the question is, do I play the Fabled Passage nothing on 1 to play Butcher on 2? On the play, that is very tempting. This is a very tough hand to navigate. What we want to do in our opening turn. I think we want to get down the Fabled Passage and just get value into the Butcher. So I'm going to keep, and I'm going to probably eschew playing the Gutterbones. I think that's the right play. That's a really tough call to make. Let me know in the comments what you think about the line here. Should it be Gutterbones, hope to get the Dread Horde? Because otherwise we make no Stone Cold no play on turn 2, and that seems awful. So let's be very careful about what we're doing. Play the Fabled Passage and pass the turn. For the minute, we get to kind of pretend we're a control deck. I'm going to get a Swamp here because we already have red source. We don't really need more than one red source in a large chunk of these games. We do want to hit our red sources, but we don't need more than one. This Dreadhorde Butcher is going to present a problem for this particular opponent if they're on a blue-green deck. Okay, Teamer. Teamer Elementals, perhaps? Okay, now we have more thoughts. More decision points. We can take the Creeping Trailblazer, attack them for 4, get the Dreadhorde Butcher bigger. And that lets us follow up with a Gutterbones, which is okay. We can get down Priest of the Forgotten Gods and pass, which again is okay. I'm kind of up for the more aggro play. I want to get this Dreadhorde Butcher to unmanageable size. So there's a level of attraction to that. I just want to be able to kind of do what I need to do with this Dreadhorde Butcher. The double Fabled Passage here has hurt us tremendously. Like, imagine if this was an untapped land, we could have gone into Priest of the Forgotten God there. Or I could have just Priest plus Gutterbones, then passed. That's a lot more attractive than the line we have. And this opponent is pure just Teamer Elementals. Let's go ahead and activate this. Again, we're going to need a black source. We don't need red. I almost grabbed him out in there. The Cloud Concealer is a bit of a problem in terms of having 3 power. I think this turn we just swing Gutterbones and let them do what they want to do with Gutterbones. I imagine they just take 2. The cards they have seem a little too valuable to block. Okay, that was a correct assessment. We're going to play a Cauldron Familiar, and we're going to play Priest of the Forgotten Gods here. We want to get a sack outlet going before we get the Mayhem Devil down. And that gives us a chance to Mayhem Devil. Then we have the follow-up of Woe Strider if they manage to deal with our Priest. So we have a lot going on here. Healer of the Glade is not bad. So this opponent looks like they're just drafting core set. Wow, they swung that, huh? That's interesting. I'm going to play the Mayhem Devil pre-combat and kind of put this opponent to the test. Because if they try to double block here, they are in a huge world of hurt. If they don't block, they're in a huge world of hurt. So, I imagine it's going to be Scorch Spitter plus Healer double blocking, which is not going to pay off for the opponent too well. Oh, this is going to, yeah, this is a world of pain. We lose a little bit of value on Priest. Sure. We will sacrifice. I want to get the Trailblazer off the board, but I don't want to sacrifice the Dreadhorde Butcher yet, so I want to submit that. To target this particular creature. That particular creature. Get rid of all the 1 power creatures. Okay. Let's get Gutterbones back to our hand and not lose our mana. We'll play a red source here. This backfoots the opponent pretty good. They have to deal with 2 3/3s. They may have Omnath here. Risen Reef. Okay. That's good, but probably not good enough. Okay. Yeah, it's certainly not good enough. Fabled Passage was an excellent draw for us. It can sacrifice, so we get to kill the Risen Reef here for nothing, basically. That should be game. Just debating on what I want to do here. I think we crack in for 6. Okay, opponent scoop. If we crack in for 6, they have to block something. They take 3, go to 7. We then play the Woe Strider, plus, I think just a Woe Strider. I don't think we do Woestar plus Mayhem Devil there. And I think that's very close to just cleaning them up right on the spot. So a little bit better there. I think the tough decision was what to do with that initial, the initial opening hand. I think Dreadhorde Butcher was okay there. It wasn't like phenomenal. Gutterbones into Oven into not much else. On the draw is interesting because we get to back it up with Woe Strider and then call the Death Dweller. So this hand has some like late game ability. If we're playing against a control deck, we're going to struggle. But we have enough aggro. I think we can pressure something like a Wilderness Reclamation deck. So I think there's enough here. We're really hoping to draw Blood Crypt. Blood Crypt or Mountain, I would take, are probably our best draws. Dread Malkin, huh? Okay. There's the Mountain we wanted. So let's play a Gutterbones. Interesting on the Dread Malkin. Okay. Okay, Oven plus Familiar is pretty nice. I imagine this is no way... Yeah, this looks like just like an aggro deck, I guess. It's interesting. Dread Malkin does have Menace, so that is worth noting. So it's, I guess, like Rakdos Menace is the deck that they're playing. We'll see what they have. Stormfist Crusader is fine. It continues the Menace theme. So the one thing we don't want to do is get back-footed here. The Familiar plus Oven will help that a lot. Okay, another Oven is interesting. I think we want to set all this up, and then I think we just jam with these. Let me get this Crusader off the board. I think we can definitely do better than the opponent right now. Their life total is under a lot more peril than ours is. Yeah, and they're still stuck on 2 mana, which means they have their flush with spells. But that's fine. The Witch's Oven is basically negating the Raptor every turn. So we're going to juggle a little bit of life. Another Woe Strider is interesting. Call the Death Dweller is also interesting. I don't think it's time for that yet. I think we can get more value there. I think we attack with Gutterbones for sure, though. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. At this point, I don't mind the each taking a damage now. So we're going to be able to get a little bit farther than them, yeah, and they see it and scoop them up. So there we go, cruised right through that. And that kind of just showcases the power we all know is there with the Oven and the Familiar. It's just such an absurd combo, and the double Oven there just let us go over the top. Opponent a little stuck on mana, just so far behind at that point that they couldn't really do much. The card draw was becoming more of a detriment for their life total, considering we were dinging them for 2 and there's nothing they could do to contest it. Let's see here. We can get to a red mana, and then we can go right into Dreadhorde Butchering. I'm interested in this hand to see what it can do. I don't know if it's a good keep. Again, let me know in the comments what you think, but I am very interested to try this hand. If opponent's on something a little slow, double Dreadhorde Butcher seems like it's going to be unmanageable. But if opponent's on something more aggro, we'll see. They could check our Butchers. I'm really intrigued to see how we end up doing. Battlefield we're playing on is one of the original to the game. remember being in I was in the early access, the alpha, the original group that got on here. And this map was there. Let's activate this Fabled Passage. Again, was it tighter to hold? Yes. Do I want to get some value off letting my opponent just play their land potentially in passing? Or making their 1-drop and passing? Sure, that's also good for me. Okay, kind of the thing we didn't want to see has happened. I don't want to give them a chance to block. How we proceed from here becomes interesting. Champion's fine. I get to pick off their whole board if they do this. I think I take that. They're giving me a 2-for-1. I don't think I can pass that up. That's just so much. I just took 2 cards off the board for 1 card. That seems insane. And then I get to follow up with a 2-for-1. That seems great for me. The question is, do I run the Butcher to try to get a 2-2 out, knowing that they're going to robber the Rich at me? Or do I just be conservative and Woe Strider? I think I Woe Strider here. And try to fit the Dreadhorde, but that could be very wrong. But I think it's worth trying to squeeze out here. Call the Death Dweller seems very good down the line here. Castle Embereth. They can't afford to robber me. So they're going to attack. I think. I'm going to get a Gutter Bones. We'll just block. Sacrifice the goat to scry for 1. Because now we are looking for something. And Fabled Passage is not it. So that would have been our 4th land. It would have been an untapped source. So they're going to take the Gutter Bones. That gives us another turn to Dreadhorde Butcher here. And I think we take it now. And then we can play a Witch's Oven. So this gives us a lot of flexibility here, with the Dreadhorde Butcher now being just a shock. We can activate whenever we wish. We'll see. Opponent playing a land is pretty nice there. They lost out on a Light Up the Stage, which is nice. A nice part of blocking the robber there is they lose out on the Light Up the Stage. NX is fine. It's not good by any stretch of the imagination, but it's fine. Mayhem Devil they cannot do anything with. No blocks. I think we take our lumps. And then we have to figure out what we're going to do from here. Fabled Passage, again, not exactly what we're looking for. Okay. Do we call back the other Dreadhorde Butcher? Let's do that. I don't think that's the highest upside play we have. But having a death-touching menace creature on the board that we can sack at any time is valuable. Because it deals the damage. So it having death touch is still relevant. So it can kill Anax if we need it to. A tap creature that can deal with Anax is pretty exciting. Dreadhorde Butcher, it's okay. Let's see if opponent knows what is up. So we will block here. The debate is what we do with Torbran. because that's probably where we want to sack, is to kill Torbran. The question is, what do we block, if anything? Maybe we block Anax with the Woe Strider. Maybe that's my block. It's intriguing. Let's go ahead and take out Torbran. They get the trigger off Anax. We get to move a mountain, which is a big deal. And we pass the damage here. So they get the Satyr token. Making a bigger Dreadhorde Butcher is valuable. Interesting to see how we proceed. It's a close game. Robber of the Rich, not the thing we really wanted to see. Not the worst thing, but not something we really wanted to see. Priority pass to blockers. Ember Cleave. Resolves. See what they attempt to target here. That's interesting. We could grab a robber, hit him for 5, sack the robber, get a food. Could alternatively priest, give it haste. We don't have enough creatures to sack to that. So claim is interesting. I don't think it's quite powerful enough. I think we need a bigger card than that. Okay. Woe Strider. We are very choked on mana right now as part of the problem. How much does this cost? It costs 3 to equip. I don't know if we can beat the Ember Cleave at 6 life. I don't think there's much we can do. I think we lose here. Interesting. Interesting. I'd like to go back and rewatch that game to kind of see where we could have went a little differently. I think we were just a little back-footed and couldn't quite find a powerful enough card to break things up. We'll try one more. Get a little five game action here, a nice little half hour. You know, I say that and the video is going to go. This match will go 15 minutes, but keep it nice and palatable out there for y'all on YouTube. Let us know what you want to see going forward. Do you want to see more Arena? Do you want to see something else? Do you want to see a different format in Arena? Playing a lot of Gladiator, if you've heard of that. If not, check it out. It's pretty sweet. Let us know. This looks fine. We can Blood Crypt, play a Gutter Bones, lock Thwain on 2 if we don't draw something, and then Blood Crypt again, pay 2. Or no, we don't have to. We can Blood Crypt tapped and then lock Thwain untapped. So, not bad. It's not great. We need something. My off-the-cuff reaction to this deck is there's just not enough 2-drops. I feel like we're very much on the odd life or odd mana cost drops. Like Priest of the Forgotten Gods. I mean, we have Witches we have a Cauldron, we have the Oven, we have another mono red deck. This is going to be a little harder to overcome with this particular hand. Yeah, that was not the draw we wanted to see. We have to attack here, no real choice. And we gotta hope these Woe Striders are enough to get us through. Geez, opponent full on Cavalcade as well. Really hard to beat. Mayhem Devils will help, so let's get a Woe Strider now. End the turn. We really got to get this Mayhem Devil doing some real work for us. We got to hope that opponent doesn't have Torbrand either. That's another big one. Tin Street Dodger. And Tin Street Dodger. So they make one of their creatures unblockable, and that's all they're going to attack with. They attacked with the wrong one. They attacked with the wrong one. Okay, so we got a little lucky there. And by a little, I mean quite a bit lucky. So we're going to scry, get rid of this goat token, take out this Tin Street Dodger. Call the Death Dweller. I don't think a second one is... I mean, we're glutted on 3s, as you can see in hand here. This first strike. Let's attack with Woe Strider then. Not enough mana to juggle the Gutter Bones here. Torbrand is the card we don't want to see, but even if we do, the opponent's kind of accident here didn't really help him too much, unfortunately. Priest of the Forgotten Gods is pretty good. Good enough. I think we're looking for... What are we looking for? We don't want claim because we can't claim the Torbrand. I'm just not convinced that the priest is exactly what we're looking for either. I'm going to attack with Woe Strider and see what they do. We're blocking. Alright, then that means we're going to play Woe Strider. And we will sack the goat token to scry and take out the Torbrand. Mayhem Devil is a pretty high impact card. But again, you can see we're just struggling with our mana. These versions of the deck tend to be very mana hungry. If all they're going to do is stomp here, we are in pretty good shape. Champion's not going to do much. Okay. So we have, I mean, it's a land here would be great, because then we could play a 3 and a 2. This looks like it's either Stomp or Castle Embereth or some kind of burn spell. I'm almost tempted to make them use it. But at 13, that's tough. I'll take my 1. Could have been an Embercleave. It's possible. Yeah, it's kind of not what we wanted to see. We'll play it, because we get double creature this way. Embercleave's 8, 9, 10. We're not dead off an Embercleave here. 8, 9. No blocks. I'll let them Embercleave. We're not dead. They, on the other hand, are not dead either. Okay, damage is going through. Okay, there's the Embercleave. Okay, they do get us. Okay. No, they do not. Okay, cool. What happened is they should have gotten us, but they screwed up their first strike damage step. So we're going to own them, because we drew insane. Yeah, that's fine. They walked through their first strike damage step is what happened there. So that was kind of, they should have won. but they accidentally stepped through their first strike damage step. So, in theory, they had me. I forgot that the Embercleave, in addition to giving double strike and trample, also gives a pump of +1 to the power. So that's an oversight on my part. I just don't play aggro red decks in the format, and I should know that card. There's no excuse there. But that's the video. 4-1 with our oven deck here. I think it's pretty cool. It's got some weaknesses now that it had before, and some clunkiness that I think was less inherent in the more aggro, the Obosh version, if you will, when it was the companion. Now it's just kind of unpalatable, unfortunately. But it's not bad. It's not great. I don't think it's the best deck in the format, but I think it's a solid contender. It's been putting up a couple decent finishes these past few days. So if you're into the sacrificing of your stuff, check it out. We're here every Thursday with a new video. We are on Twitch basically every Sunday at 8 o'clock for arena streaming. We like to do it. We like to have you hang out with us while we do it. So check us out there. It's twitch.tv/superliminalfilms. And if you can't remember that, Superliminal Films. If you can spell it, you can find us. That's the deal. So until next time, cast more spells.